Welcome to the PJ Finance Show. Today we will discuss a framework for country investment, Part 5. Phoebe, I recently received a project relating to a country's productivity, and I know you're interested in this aspect because you're studying GDP. Are you interested in learning more about this?
Yes, most certainly. I may also contribute some of my knowledge about factors that affect productivity and types of innovation.
Wow, there's no way to get free food anymore. I am sad.
Oh well, too bad. I also do my research.
Productivity is important for GDP growth. When we buy shares to invest in a company, we want the corporation to think long-term and reinvest its profits in new machines and technology to promote its productivity.
That's correct. But, as we can see from the graph, the companies with the largest asset growth have a lower annualized return than the companies with the lowest asset growth. Why is that?
It relates to shareholders' preference. Allow me to give you an example. Company A announces that they will invest in new factories, with results expected in about 8 years. However, Company B announces that instead of investing in new factories, they will use their cash to buy back shares and to raise the dividend. Which one do you think the shareholders would prefer to invest in?
Of course, from the view of shareholders, Company B would be preferred. Because of how quickly the world changes, investing in something that only shows results 8 years later is a risky proposition.
Absolutely. You can see from this graph that CapEx or capital expenditures have been decreasing since 1990 while net share buybacks have been increasing in huge amounts every now and then.
When a CEO sees that shareholders have a negative attitude to long-term investment, they naturally will invest less in CapEx. If many CEOs think likewise, it will be difficult for the country's productivity to increase.
Now it's your turn to explain types of innovation over the years since you did your research.
To increase productivity, we build bridges all across the world. People can save time and increase productivity by driving the truck across the rivers instead of waiting for the ferries to be loaded with goods.
Farming used to be so difficult and time-consuming.
As a result, machines are created to make this work much easier and faster. Younger people can work in manufacturing, earning more money and so increasing productivity.
Cars are my all-time favorite invention.
Because horses are no longer used to transport things, fewer people are required to breed them. Some of these horse-related jobs were lost but new factory jobs were created, lots of them. For example, the automobile industry not only generates more job opportunities directly but also indirectly and benefiting the glass and light industries in the process as well. Just like where this car brings us, people are able to relocate out of the city to the suburbs, developing new businesses in the area.
It's the innovation of canned food, airplanes and air conditioners blah blah blah. They helped improve life qualities as well as productivity for sure.
Correct. You saved us some gas for driving to those places. Good productivity right there.
Now that we've gone through a few different types of productivity-enhancing inventions, I'd like to know what today's great innovations are, those that have a significant impact on the lives of a large population.
Let's talk about ride-sharing, food delivery and online marketplace for lodging. While these innovations hurt the hotel and taxi industries to some degree, they did not change clients' needs, therefore there were no productivity improvements. Joe, are you listening?
Yes, I did hear you. I just have to start playing this latest mobile game.
Computer and mobile games, in my opinion, are also of no help to productivity improvements. Some people might even say these reduced productivity. OMG. Mary just had a party and invited everyone from our cohort. How come I was not invited? Why? I feel sad.
LOL. I know you are pulling my legs to show how some social media might lead to anxiety and unhappiness. This is also not good for productivity.
As innovations continue, some old industries are being ruined, but the question is, will the new innovations create new jobs? Is the ripple effects of disruption narrow or broad? And do they increase productivity for the country?
If new inventions destroy some industries while also creating a large number of new employment, overall productivity rises, such as the 3D printing, robots, electric cars, blockchain industry, and so on. The role of government is also a factor that will affect productivity. We can observe from this graph that manufacturing jobs drop, whereas government jobs have been continuously increasing over the 50 years.
Is the rise in government jobs good for productivity?
Well, it depends on the government's role in the economy. Are they regulators or facilitators? Of course, we want the government to support the private sector and contribute to the improvement of the economy. Consider the transition from petrol or gas-based to electric cars. Why aren't electric automobiles more widely used? It's because there aren't enough charging stations for electric cars. And why are there not enough charging stations? That's because there aren't enough electric automobiles on the road to justify the investment.
It would be extremely beneficial to the electric car business if the government could act as a facilitator by offering tax incentives or industry guidance.
That's correct. And you'll see me driving a Tesla the next day to grab my boba milk tea, cheesecakes, and sue.
Enough. At this pace I will develop a phobia for these foods. Thank you for watching.
This presentation on a framework for country investment, Part 5, is brought to you by the PJ Finance Show.